Today, I wanted to share with you the top books on my 2025 list. These are my 5-star books, and I did not have a lot of them. This does not mean these are the top books that were published in 2025. These are my books that I read in 2025. So we will begin. The first book is Legends and Lattes. This has to be an amazing 5-star read for me because it was specifically written for me, minus the monster type cover. I enjoy fantasy, but I'm not always drawn into books like this. I will say that as I read it, I imagined people rather than monsters. That was my visual concept. So for me, I loved it. It is written for anyone who has ever thought about opening like a coffee shop or bakery. If that is something you're interested in, then you must read this book because it is a cozy fantasy where the main character ends up opening a coffee shop in a town where they don't really know what coffee is. The second book, you probably have heard me talk about this, is actually a duology. This is the Crimson Moth series, and this was one that I flew through. I absolutely loved it. It is perfectly, if you are looking for a book that you can just fly through, the writing is very easy to read. I believe it is a young adult novel or duology. This is amazing. Enemies to lovers, the best enemy to lovers situation. This is not questionable. It is about a witch and a witch hunter, and it had me nervous, excited, and I just loved watching these two characters finally come together. The third book that I loved, that I also gave 5 stars to, was My Friends by Fredrik Backman. He knows how to write about real life. I mean, he has some of the most beautiful writing, and this is definitely one that I will remember forever. It is about a girl who steals a piece of artwork and somehow stumbles upon the artist himself. And through there, you begin to understand and hear the story of what made him make this piece of art and the friendship surrounding the artwork. And it just draws in so much about our own lives and our own friendships and childhood, and how these friendships shape us as human beings. And I loved it, and think that this is a book that is written for everyone. The next one that I absolutely loved was Wild Dark Shore by Charlotte McConaghy. And this is one that there are a lot of mixed reviews. Some people either love it or hate it. I absolutely loved it, and here's why. I love atmospheric books, and if you can make me feel like I am in the place and I become enveloped in that world, I am here for it. And this did that for me. I could visually see everything about this book, this island where where it's a seed bank, and this family is having to care for these seeds because the water in the world is rising, and a woman ends up coming ashore and how they handle that situation, things that they do, what they're willing to do to protect their family. And I loved it. I loved the desolate feeling that this writing exuded. And I just thought it was beautifully written. And I would recommend this for anybody who loves atmospheric books. It is slightly dystopian. So you do have this feeling of loss as you're reading it. And I loved it. And the last one that is a 5-star read for me, definitely a favorite for me this year. And I think partially the reason it is a favorite for me is I have heard nothing about this book from anyone, and I loved it. This is definitely a 5-star read. It's The Wolves of Winter by Tyrell Johnson. If you are going to pick up this book, I definitely recommend reading it in winter because it has all the winter vibes. It is dystopian in the sense that there has been a nuclear war and the world is cold and people are having to live in this cold environment. Everybody has had to move north in North America, and this family lives in Canada. The main character is a young woman. She's early 20s, and she is living on the land with her family. So you're watching how they are having to survive in this cold environment. And a man shows up on their land. And again, kind of a survivalist situation as to what they are going to do when this man shows up. I absolutely ate this up. I thought it was amazing. I would highly recommend this to people if you're looking for something that maybe is kind of under the radar. This is definitely a great one. These are the books that I gave 5 stars to this year. I'd love to know what were some of your favorite books this year. Feel free to let me know in the comments. And then if you want, make sure to head to novelandnosh.com where you can join our community where we kind of talk books and food and all the things that we are loving in this season of life.